Okay, so you can see right back there is the gate, right where the culvert is. So I'm walking down along here. The water's running fine. It's definitely a lot shallower here. This was dug out by hand about 3 years ago. And it's filled in a bit. It will definitely need to be dug out, at least by next year. Hopefully we can either rent a backhoe or get a tractor with one. But you know, it's staying within the confines for here and just going down. I know that this is most definitely washing out on my property. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Looks like we had a deer hit one of our poles. Oh well. 2 of them. There's not a whole lot we can do about that. The poles are really good. One, the deer just really need to learn the boundary, and 2, probably the only thing that's really going to stand up to the deer is a more wooden post. And we just don't have the cash for it. Not too bad though, because those fiberglass rods only like $3 a pop. Okay, so again, getting really shallow here. The water's slowing down, which means it's going to deposit a lot of that sediment. Whatever doesn't settle it down out up there, which a lot of it does for now. Neither situation is ideal. But we'll definitely have to keep an eye on this area because this hill right here is barely above that. Just a mess from some of the trees we cut down. Trying to clear all this up so we can see what we're doing. Also, a lot of these trees just are either dead or like completely leaning over. It's just a lot of overgrowth. Slowly cleaning up the property. This hill, this embankment that I'm actually working on is like mostly gravel as well, which is actually a problem because it means the water leaches through it. So even though there's this nice big huge embankment here, we actually have consistent washout every winter in this area right about there. Washes out into the pasture, and it's a lot of gravel. Even though there's a nice decent ditch here to keep the water in, it just seeps through because there's not actually a whole lot of clay in this. This is mostly gravel. We're still in the ditch, which is good. Again, more overgrowth. Just, it's so thick that when we come through with a weed whacker, like we still can't see anything until what we kill dies back. So we do believe we have a spring right up there. Let's see, with stuff starting to die back and with me having come in and weed whack, if we can see it. So there's this pipe right there. Just arbitrarily comes out of the hillside. Water trickles out of it, but also like it just gathers and comes down the hillside anyways. There's a bathtub right there that is so very buried. I see another pipe that goes that way. Not really sure what's going on there. Natural spring water, which would be great in the future to harness, I should say. Use it for the animals and whatnot. At the moment, we just really don't have a way to like clean all this out. The cool thing is though, is like this will pretty much be wet year round. So sometimes this will be bone dry. And then from here on, there'll be like at least a trickle of water. It's kind of cool. I'm gonna hop back across here. We cleaned a lot of this up. There was trees, like you couldn't even walk and see through here. This whole thing is a giant thorn thicket. And so is that, and that, and that. And it like grew up into the tree. A lot of our property is that. Which is very fun to contend with. But like, you know, we had trees and stuff. You couldn't even see this before because there was just so much crap over top of it. We've cut it down and we started wood chipping all of the crap we cut down. This tree will, at minimum, have to be trimmed back so that it's not overhanging, because we need to be able to get to it in the future and dig it out. Although this area has never been touched by us, and it's doing pretty well so far. Not having to worry about being filled in yet. And again, you can see here just how big and deep this has been dug in the past by somebody who actually had the equipment. Still in the ditch, still in the ditch. But we're coming up to where it's going to be washing out here soon. You can see this is the way to getting more shallow, more narrow. It's not wet under my feet yet, but we're about to get there. Because I know for a fact that it's clogged right there. Again, just it's not deep at all, not very narrow. Oh, it's hard to walk in. All these stumps and stuff sticking out. Look at these nasty, nasty thorns. There's so much of it on my property. Like this branch right here, it's a nasty ass thorn bush. It's so mean and so aggressive. Okay, so this is where we're gonna start seeing a washout. Like, it's definitely starting to seep over the side here. You can see it right here. In fact, if I turn around here, there it is. There's the water. If you look closely, you can even see that it's flowing. So yeah, and that's because the ditch did continue. So this is another path up. It does not go to the top. There's just like a little landing right there, and then like sheer face cliffs. But this ditch comes in, and then right about there is a culvert, and then it came to right about take this stuff aside. Right about there. So like there to there is a culvert. And the ditch kind of continued a little bit that way in its small little form self. But yeah, the problem was all that sediment and stuff would come down. And since it's not like that side of my property, truthfully, this is the steepest part of my property. But on the hillside, it's steeper over there, and then this is all where it starts leveling out down here. So of course, the water starts to slow down because it's not rushing down the hillside anymore. And when it reached this side of the culvert, it started, well, really, this whole side, because this is all much flatter. It just backed up. And then the culvert filled in, and it filled in over there, and then we had gravel that, we literally have a bunch of gravel and stone here that was not here a couple of years ago. And then it washes down, and it washes over there. My property line is right there, and just as I thought, I'll show it to you in a bit, but there's a lake forming. But yeah, we had come in, and we'd actually dug a small ditch all through here. 2 winters ago? I'm literally walking on where the ditch was. That's how bad it's filled up. Oh, no, it's right there. This is it right here. Splish, splash. It's level with the ground. Oh, there's a little remnant of it. There it is. We got a little bit of movement, but the problem is again, it washes out more down here, and with the lay of the land, all of this water comes down, and then it comes down into here, and it slows down and settles into here. So this is all pretty much swampland at the time, right at this moment, because everything is just so completely saturated. And then it hits the hillside that this house sits on and makes its way back around and all settles out over there directly on my fence line, so we can't really put up new fence. I believe the way this was supposed to work was this ditch is supposed to come all the way down here. You can see where I started hand redigging. This is the ditch I dug this year, building up the edge here. And it's funny because when you first dig, you're hitting nothing but gravel, and then you dig down deep enough and you hit solid clay. This is where I started getting it kind of deep. And it holds water really, really well. But, so this is our property line. And then there's like another fence like right there, and then there's that guy's. This belongs to them. But I believe this ditch was supposed to come down, cut across here, and then hit where this hill comes down and meets this hill, and then be taken that way. And there's a huge culvert over there that goes underneath the highway and out to the Conowanga River. Of course, it filled in. We dug a much narrower ditch a couple years ago, like the first winter we were out here. And by the next year, it not only filled in, it had mounded. Like, that's how much sediment had come down. This area is relatively dry, but if I walk over there, I'll pretty much take my boots off. So let's walk back this way. Came through here and weed whacked because we were going to put up more fencing, but with as wet as it is, we realized we're just not going to be able to. This won't hold any kind of rod or pole, and even if we got it to hold wooden posts, it's just going to rot them out. It's just way too wet. We have to get the ditch situation in order so that the ground can dry out. But if we come over here, darn, get off of me. Jeez, Pete. Come over here, take a look at our impromptu pond. And a lot of people are like, oh my god, yay, pond! But like, it sits on my fence line. Directly on top of it. And see, all these rocks, this is gravel washout. Like, the topsoil is actually like 6 inches down or more. And it cuts, gouges through my property. And not only that, because the gravel ruins the quality of the topsoil, I can't grow grass on it. I get invasive, nasty plants like buttercups that, you know, the animals aren't supposed to eat. But oh yeah, it's well on its way right now. It's a little wonder that this willow tree does really well, because it's just right in the middle of it. So yeah, it comes down, hits this hill, comes back onto our property. Yep, it's already really wet here. And this whole area, like right here, looks super lush and green. But I have a lot of buttercups that are already trying to go back up. I've sprayed it twice to kill them off, because you just don't mechanically take care of buttercups. Same with this whole area. Like, yeah, we finally got some amount of grass to come up and grow after we sprayed the buttercups the first time. But then, like, all this dead stuff you see is where I had to come back through and spray it, because the buttercups carpet the area, because the soil gets so ruined from all this washout, because you get gravel and clay settling. So yeah, that's about 2 feet deep. And this is not my property line. My property line is actually right there. So you can see some of the old line where we've been clearing it so we can put up new fences line. But yeah, let's take a look. Come further down here. Ooh, it's bigger than it's ever been. Ooh wee. I don't think I've ever seen it this big. If I had ducks right now, they'd be in love. Oh yeah. So like, my property line is right there, and now this lake is starting to, like, this pond is starting to spill over onto their property. Again, this is all buttercups right here. Carpeting. I'm actually just really walking through a carpet of buttercups right now. Oh, yep. I'm in it now. Can't see it because it's under the grass. But yeah, I'm walking in it. This area, it's got to be 2-3 feet deep. But my dog would love it right now. But you can see, like, it goes up there. That's where their house and driveway is just right there. And you can start to appreciate how much water is coming down. And again, yes, a decent amount of it is water that comes from my own hill. But it's also a whole county road and ditches that are funneling all of the water from the county road down onto my property. And I contacted them, never heard back from them. Oh Jesus. Yep, I'm currently standing in about a foot of water, and it just gets deeper right there. And yeah, this is a problem. I can't put posts in the ground there. Like, the reason why these T-posts got such a gangster lean is because of all of this too. And if this keeps filling in, we're going to start risking the fence line we did put in across the front of our property. This is all thanks to the Cattaraugus County. I am considering taking some course of legal action. Don't know if I can properly sue them, but I do kind of wonder if I can send a cease and desist to tell them to keep their water and their dirt and their gravel off of my property, and if they don't, maybe I can start charging them. Sounds about right. Worth a shot, right? Alright, everyone. Have a great day. This is Lenica saying goodbye from the Enchanted Acres Homestead.